speaker, and lunch soon, I promise. Coming up next is the head of marketing and communication representing SydWest. If I can please ask Mr. Peter Scarp-Harris to come up and say a few words. Thank you. I really appreciate the time to take some photos, but please, if we can give some respect to the next speaker, and if I can have everyone please be seated. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Scarp-Harris, as was mentioned, head of SydWest Marketing and Communications at SydWest Multicultural Services, the same organization where one of the stories you heard, Clement Maru, is from. We work together, and I excuse myself if I'm a little bit speaking on the spot. Didn't expect to be speaking, but I'm representing our CEO, Elfa Moratakis, who couldn't be here due to a personal event, basically. So we are one of the many partners here, and just a little bit about SydWest Multicultural Services. We are a community services organization. Been around for 41 years. We started in 1985 as the Blacktown Migrant Resource Centre, opening to help migrants settle into Australia and give them the connection and belonging that they deserve, just like every other human being. A little bit about Elfa, our CEO. She's of Greek background, born in Greece, came over here with her parents and grandparents, and a lot of what drives what she does is a sense of belonging. And when she came to Australia, her parents and grandparents didn't feel as belonged in this country 40, 50 years ago and went back to Greece. And that's why Elfa, in her 50s and 60s years of age, is still a passionate multiculturalism advocate. It lives in her blood, basically, to keep ensuring that anyone who comes onto these shores feels belonged, basically. So a lot of what SydWest does is everyday services, whether it's social support or clinical care for seniors, helping refugees and migrants access systems, help with employment, health, a range of stuff, disability support services, accommodation, social support. But a lot of also what SydWest does, which isn't very obvious, is advocacy. And that's where Elfa really aims to kind of do a lot of her passion and her work, talking to other organizations here, working with other organizations here, like councils and the Western Sydney Migrant Resource Centre, who I believe are going to speak soon, to making sure that we represent the voices of Western Sydney, because it is the most multicultural region of this country. A lot of what Elfa and SydWest want to really make sure Vivianne's work, book, everyone's stories here reminds everyone in Australia that, number one, refugees do not arrive empty. They come with memories, courage, wisdom, skills. The contribution bit that Vivianne spoke about is the untold story. Everyone contributes. That's not what's told a lot about in media and in stories. And that narrative and continuing that story and that change really matters, so keep working through. A bit about what I do, my job. So I don't do the services like Clement or Mervat, who was also one of the stories at our organization. But I also have a very important job to make sure that our organization's mission and vision is communicated, not just in Western Sydney, but outside into the whole of Sydney and the whole of New South Wales. So meeting up with journalists who share our views and helping them to get our stories, refugees and migrant stories out there, great case studies of contribution. So I actually spoke to someone yesterday from The Guardian who saw one of our press releases and said it's her job to tell community stories and get them out there, get Western Sydney out into other regions. That's essentially it, basically. I want to thank Vivianne, not only for allowing us to be here today, but Vivianne also spoke at our Refugee Week event last week, and the story really touched me, and I had to go up immediately after and introduce myself and get to know her. That's everything, I believe. Just trying to think what else. Yes, one more important thing. So I think someone from the Western Sydney Migrant Resource Centre might be coming up to speak soon. So Syd West, Western Sydney Migrant Resource Centre, and two other organisations, ADSI and the CMRC, are four organisations that have come together as a consortium called the Western Sydney Region Settlement Consortium. So together, as four organisations, we are a bigger and louder voice that represent the whole of Greater Western Sydney. Camden, Liverpool, Cabramatta, all the way up to Blacktown and Penrith, basically. And it's those partnerships that are so critical in our organisation. Why have one voice? We can have four voices coming together to represent more people, more voices, more stories. So look us up on our website and you'll hear a lot more about us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. That was really helpful to tell us what you guys do. And as Peter mentioned, we also like to highlight Western Sydney Migrant Resource Centre. And we were supposed to have Mr. Daw here today, but I will personally acknowledge him. He is a respected community leader whose journey reflects the very essence of from survival to contribution, all the values of resilience, leadership, and deep community purposes. Having arrived in Sydney as a refugee himself as well from South Sudan, he has dedicated nearly 20 years to advocating for the dignity, settlement and empowerment of displaced families. Holding a master's degree in international law and international relations, he now leads a vital organization that helps newcomers connect and thrive. As the CEO of Western Sydney Migrant Resource Centre, Mr. Daw Achik, that was very challenging, is a passionate advocate for refugees, migrants, and culturally diverse communities. Having experienced the refugee himself, he brings both lived experience and visionary leadership to his work, helping thousands of newcomers not just build successful and meaningful life in Australia, but also contribute. Thank you so much for your service, Mr. Daw, in absence. Right, how about now with some performance? One of the most beautiful ways communities preserve their heritage is through music and dance. A Palestinian dabke is a proud cultural tradition that reflects unity, resilience, and celebration. Please join me in welcoming our Palestinian dabke performers, and please enjoy this wonderful cultural performance. Yes, the Palestinian dabke is sponsored by Mr. Rami Shaheen. Thank you.